during day 3 of the criminal trial against the organizers of the so-called Freedom Convoy. Videos were played in court that showed one organizer, Chris Barber, calling for people to do things like, quote, flood the city. Both Barber and fellow protest organizer Tamara Leach are facing charges related to their role in organizing the demonstrations against COVID-19 health restrictions last year.
We got this, guys. Let's keep this up. We're going to screw Ottawa up for traffic today, but keep it as safe and peaceful as possible. We do not want any troubles.
5 hours worth of TikTok and YouTube clips compiled by Ottawa Police Sergeant Joanne Pillot were played in court today. Leach and Barber stand co-accused of mischief, counseling others to commit mischief, intimidation, and obstructing police. We're joined now by Michael Kempa, Associate Professor of Criminology at the University of Ottawa. Professor, do you think the charges against Leach and Barber are fair?
What I believe the Crown has decided to do was to proceed through totally ordinary criminal charges rather than any special laws under the Emergencies Act or violations under the Emergencies Act. And that's for the reason that there is no good reason to pursue extraordinary charges. So mischief, counseling mischief, obstructing police activity, and intimidation are ordinary on-the-books laws that will demonstrate to Canadians that the Crown is not proceeding against Ms. Leach or Mr. Barber through any extraordinary means.
Would you say free speech and the right to protest is at the heart of this trial?
That's very much what this trial is about. We had a teaser of that, a hint of that in the opening statements of defense counsel for the accused, Mr. Greenspan, where he said that, in fact, our charter rights, the freedom of expression and assembly, which add up essentially to the rights to protest, trump in many ways property ownership rights and intended use of property, which takes us into the category of mischief. So what we're dealing with fundamentally is the question of whether or not occupying public space and preventing thousands of people from going about their daily affairs, some of which are essential, such as attending employment, going for medical treatment and obtaining medication, groceries, and so forth, is so important that it should trump our right to protest in perhaps annoying, but fundamentally still legal ways.
Will it be an uphill battle for the Crown to prove what Leach and Barber did was illegal?
It's always an uphill battle to prove people's intent on statements. So the facts of the matter are not in dispute here. We all know Chris Barber and Tamara Leach have made statements along the lines of hold the line, stay true to the cause. In Mr. Barber's case, there's an additional issue where he has a video where he appears to be encouraging truckers to violate court orders, to stop honking and so forth. So what is in question is what they meant by these phrases. So prosecutors are arguing that the two were working in lockstep, their words, to encourage people to break the law for what they knew to be an illegal protest, to defy police orders, lawful orders to leave the area, whereas defense is arguing that Ms. Leach and Mr. Barber were encouraging people to stay true to their values, hold the line on their efforts to hold what they saw as a tyrannical government to account, that they were not encouraging any form of illegal behavior.
Based on what we learned from the public inquiry last year that looked into the use of the Emergencies Act to dispel the convoy, how do you think the trial will play out for Leach and Barber?
It's entirely possible that we could get a very different outcome at criminal trial than we did in the Rouleau Public Order Emergencies Commission, for the reason that the thresholds are completely different. In this case, we're looking into the criminal culpability of two people who were important in organizing an event that seems to have spiraled beyond control, even beyond their wildest imaginings when they set out. So the threshold here is far, far higher. We might find that although some of their behavior was questionable or offended many people, that it doesn't quite meet the standard for criminal conviction. But that doesn't require us to throw away the conclusions of the Public Order Emergency Commission. There's simply two different sets of questions.
Thanks so much for joining us, Michael.
Thank you kindly.